Hello world, it is Thursday, February 18th, and it's pretty cold outside again, and more snow. I don't think very much today, maybe an inch, but still enough to make driving a little hazardous. And I think there is a level 1 snow emergency this morning, so just be careful if you need to go out and dress appropriately. Excuse me. The devotion for today is entitled Blinkers, written by Kaji Dosha. Kaji bases the devotion upon Psalm 51, verses 1 through 3. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love, according to your great compassion. Blot out my transgressions. Wash away my iniquity. Excuse me. And cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. And Kaji writes, I remember the first time I saw them. It was my premiere trip to Central Park, and I must have been elementary school aged. I was awed by the majestic creatures dragging carriages behind them. All of this was new to me. What was especially curious to me, though, were the cups over the horses' eyes. How could they see, I wondered. Someone responded, they see what their drivers need them to see, without distraction. I've been told they're called blinkers. I've been told they're called blinders. The form of tack that are cups for horses' eyes, focusing their attention on exactly what's before them, nothing to the left or to the right. There might have been a time when I would have written a devotional about how helpful blinkers could be, how I wish I could stay focused on the path and not have cause to turn my head lest I should stumble or wander off path. But then, how would I know my transgressions? If I am only willing to look straight ahead, if I can only listen to the news sources I most trust, if my faith relies on blinders, then how will I ever know the sins from which I need a cleanse? And the prayer. Wash away my iniquity, O Lord, for only in my awareness can I be delivered by your mercy. Amen. I had a chuckle because I've always known those as blinders, not blinkers. But I did notice that Kaji changed nomenclature in the very last sentence. If my faith relies on blinders. But I think she brings up a good point. Yes, our faith should define the path that we walk and should guide us and help keep us from getting distracted from those things that are not of God or not of God's will for our lives. But on the other hand, how often are we caught up in listening to news sources that confirm what we already believe, eschewing every other source out there that and many other sources that may be saying things contrary to what we'd like to believe. So I think it's important to engage in conversation with people. People have different perspectives, different views, different understandings, but in a respectful way. If someone can't be respectful of your story, of your belief, of the things that you've seen, it's hard to enter into conversation with them. I'll grant you that. But I think it is, especially with regards to faith, worth the time and the effort to question and to challenge and to come to a deeper understanding of your faith tradition. As I've said so often in the past, you know you're in real trouble when you think you have it all figured out. Excuse me. Because I myself, the more I learn, the more I understand how much there is yet for me to learn. And I think that's God's ways, is for us to continue to grow and to learn and to work towards understanding that we are an integral part of God's creation. We are not set above or separate from creation. We are part of God's beloved creation. So reread this devotional or listen to it again and give it some thought. Question it. Question yourself. Have a conversation with somebody. See if you might be wearing some blinders. Talk to you again tomorrow.